In these caves, you see the transition from just surviving to living, to observing the world, to enjoying it.
Some discoveries are too hot for museums, like these 17 relics that are basically biological or chemical time bombs. For starters, what most people do not realize is that the real treasures are often the most deadly ones.
Through the cave takes roughly 500 meters to get from the entrance to the end of the cave, so it is really huge.
There is a huge gap between what is in the news and what is actually hidden in secret government vaults. This tale is full of information about why certain places in China, Egypt, and France are permanently closed to every human. That is putting it lightly, because the secrets inside those places are still dangerous enough to end life today. 17 relics that terrify experts. Not every piece of history ends up behind glass in a museum or written into a textbook. The truth is, archaeologists often find things so sensitive or incredible that they are kept hidden from the public eye on purpose. If you assume these are just standard everyday finds, you need to keep watching. The world of digging up the past is full of secrets that are often too strange for the general public to handle. Number 17. The Tomb of Qin Shi Huang, China. Most people know about the terracotta warriors, those thousands of clay soldiers standing guard, but they are just the perimeter security. The actual tomb of the first emperor remains completely sealed. And for good reason. It is not just about keeping history safe, it is about staying alive. Old records claim the emperor was buried with rivers of flowing liquid mercury to look like the stars and the earth. Modern soil samples have confirmed scary levels of mercury pollution in the area. Experts are afraid to open it, not only because exposing the items to air could destroy them fast, as happened with the paint on the clay soldiers, but because the tomb itself is a toxic place. We have the tools to enter, but we lack the tools to do it without getting hurt. So, the emperor sleeps without being bothered, surrounded by a deadly chemical moat that has kept the curious away for over 2,000 years. The mercury levels are so high that they are hundreds of times what is considered safe for humans. This liquid metal does not just sit there, it turns into gas that can destroy the brain and lungs of anyone who walks inside. Some people think there are also mechanical traps, like crossbows set to fire if the doors are moved. Whether or not the traps still work, the chemical danger is very real. The tomb is a giant underground palace that spans miles, yet we have only seen the edges. Experts believe there are maps made of gold and silver inside, but they stay in the dark because the air is poison. This is one of those places where the mystery is protected by a wall of science and fear. Scientists have used drones and sensors to peek inside, but the results always say the same thing: stay out. The mercury is so thick that it shows up on satellite images as a hotspot of chemicals. It is a massive reminder that some kings wanted to stay king even after they passed away. Things get even weirder once the focus shifts to a massive hole in the desert. Locked caves and secret scrolls. Number 16. The Great Pyramid's Secret Voids, Egypt. This discovery still feels like a movie. The Great Pyramid of Giza has been studied for hundreds of years. It has been measured and photographed from every angle possible. But then modern tools changed everything. Using advanced muon radiography, which uses space rays to see through stone, scientists found a huge empty space deep inside the pyramid. We are not talking about a small crack. This is a giant internal room. It is one of the most important finds in this building in over 100 years. But here is the part that truly boggles the mind. Nobody has gone inside. No drill has gone through the wall. No small camera has looked inside. We know the space is there, yet it remains untouched. Its size and what lies within are total mysteries. In a building we thought we understood perfectly, a massive secret room sits in absolute silence. It is over 100 feet long and sits right above the Grand Gallery. Some experts think it was used to help build the pyramid, while others think it holds the real treasures of the pharaoh. Because the pyramid is a world wonder, nobody is allowed to break the stones to find out. We are waiting for a robot that can crawl through tiny cracks to solve the mystery. Number 15. Lascaux Cave, France. Imagine being a teenager and falling into a hole in the ground and finding one of the greatest art pieces in history. That is the story of Lascaux, found in 1940. Inside, the walls were alive with amazing old paintings of animals. These images became the face of prehistoric art very fast. However, being famous was a curse. As many people went inside, their breath brought moisture and germs that started to eat the paintings. By 1963, the government made a tough choice to seal the cave forever. Since then, the real Lascaux has stayed in total darkness. What people see today are just copies. The real art is locked away to keep it from being destroyed by human breath. Number 14. Altamira Cave Paintings, Spain. This site did not shut down all at once. It happened in slow steps behind locked gates. Every new rule was a response to a new threat. Over the years, the body heat and light from visitors started to ruin the cave. The old art reacted in a scary way. Green mold began to grow across the surfaces. By 2002, the damage was too much and the cave was closed. Since that day, seeing the original colorful ceiling has been basically forbidden. Instead of entering the actual site, people go to a museum copy. It was built because the real cave could not survive us. The art lives on, but only behind strict walls in science. Number 13. The Hidden Rooms of King Tut's Tomb. You would think we found everything in King Tut's tomb by now. You would be wrong. High-tech radar scans inside his burial room in the Valley of the Kings have found something strange. The data shows there might be sealed empty spaces behind the painted walls. These are spaces that do not fit the maps we have. No living person has entered these spots. There has been no drilling and no robot help yet, just ghost signals on a screen. Whatever is behind those 3,000-year-old stones has been sealed since the day the king was buried. They could be treasure rooms or just empty air. But until we cross that line, one of the world's most famous tombs is hiding a secret we have never seen. Number 12. The Dead Sea Scrolls. Some secrets are not hidden by rocks, they are hidden by people. Between 1946 and 1956, desert caves near Qumran gave us the Dead Sea Scrolls. These thousands of pieces changed how we see religious history, but after they were taken from the caves, things got weird. For decades, a tiny group of scholars kept the scrolls to themselves. Other experts were told no when they asked to see them. Even photos were kept secret. This caused a giant scandal for years. It was not until the early 1990s that the scrolls were finally released to the world. The real shock was the fact that they had been held like prisoners for so long. Deep inside the dark cave, something more than just art is eating the walls. Missing queens and holy chests. Number 11. The Cave of Horror. This is not a place for a vacation. Just getting to the Cave of Horror means climbing down huge cliffs in the heat. The cave got its name in the 1960s when people found old skeletons inside. In 2021, it was in the news again. New Bible pieces were found in this rough place. Every trip here is like a rescue mission. The ground is not safe and thieves are always trying to get there first. That is why these digs are done in secret. Experts are in a race against time to save history before it is gone forever. Number 10. Cleopatra's Tomb. Let me be real with you. How does the most famous woman in history just disappear? Cleopatra was the last ruler of Egypt. Her life and stories are very famous. Yet when it comes to her grave, history is silent. Despite hundreds of years of hunting, no expert has found where she or Mark Antony are buried. We have not found a tomb or even a sign. All we have are old stories and ruins under the water. No big dig has ever found her body. That empty spot is what keeps the mystery alive. One of the most famous people ever left a trail that ends at her death. Her tomb is the ultimate mystery of the old world. Number 9. Chauvet Cave, France. You know that feeling when something is so perfect it feels like you should not touch it? That is Chauvet. Found in 1994, this cave has the most important old art ever found. The walls have lions and horses that look almost real. The moment it was found, it was locked down. The government knew that human germs would eliminate the art. The real cave has been a fort ever since. To help the public, France built a giant copy in 2015. It lets you see the art without hurting the real thing hidden nearby. Number 8. The Chapel of the Tablet, Ethiopia. This is maybe the most guarded object on Earth. In the town of Axum, inside a small building, sits what people say is the Ark of the Covenant. But do not expect to see it. It is not a museum piece, it is a holy item under total lockdown. Only one man, a monk, is allowed to see it. He cannot leave the area and he guards it until he passes away. No expert or leader is allowed inside. Even during wars, the Ark stayed hidden. It is a giant mystery sitting just feet away from the world, yet totally invisible to science. Number 7. Zoyat Aryan. This is where history hits a brick wall. South of Giza sits a mysterious pyramid that most people do not know about. It is not famous because it is forbidden. Since 1964, the whole place has been inside a military zone. This has eliminated any chance to study it. Experts cannot dig there and people cannot visit. What we know comes from a few old photos of big rocks and tunnels. What else is under the sand is a total secret. It is one of the few places where the mystery is not how old it is, but the modern soldiers guarding it. The hunt for the missing queen leads straight into a holy box no one can touch. Buried cities and stolen gold. Number 6. Plymouth Bone Caves, United Kingdom. Beneath Plymouth's busy streets lies a fragile Ice Age graveyard. To protect these delicate bones from theft and collapse, the caves remain unmapped and locked to the public. While the city moves above, this ancient world stays sealed in silence. Number 5. Cosquer Cave, France. This prehistoric site is being reclaimed by the sea with its entrance hidden deep underwater. Because salt water threatens the ancient paintings, the real cave is closed. Instead, a high-tech replica opened in 2022 allows visitors to see the art without the danger. Number 4. Zagra Stone Circle, Malta. This massive underground burial site once held the remains of thousands. Due to the risk of structural collapse, the government has closed it to the public. Most of the site remains guarded by fences and covers, keeping its statues and history in the dark. Number 3. Medyate Underground City, Turkey. Discovered by accident in 2020, this may be the largest underground city ever found. Because of the scale and safety risks, experts are opening it very slowly. Most of its vast tunnels remain sealed and untouched by modern hands. Number 2. The Tilla Tepe Gold, Afghanistan. Thought lost during the wars of the 1990s, these 20,000 gold items were actually hidden in a secret vault. The plan was so discreet that the key holders did not even know one another. It remains a masterpiece of historical preservation. Number 1. Hidden Roman Hoards, Germany. When a massive treasure was found by a metal detector, the finder kept it secret for 8 years. This silence prevented experts from studying the site, ultimately ruining the historical context. Does this make you wonder if we are being told the whole truth about our past? The thing is, the more we dig, the more we find that some doors were meant to stay locked. If you think we are missing key details, you are probably right. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into hidden history. Let me know your theories in the comments.